All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, I want to thank anybody watching my videos, subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. I realize it's not even NBA season, and there's like this presidential election going on, I guess. Big debate last night. I don't care, follow any of it. But, you know, there's definitely other things to grab your attention and whatever. But the people that continue to watch my videos, I'm going to keep on making them for you guys. I appreciate your comments, the comments of support and all that. I really appreciate it. In this video here, what I want to talk about is, in my lifetime, the greatest finals performance I ever saw. And it wasn't ever really one thing or, you know, the stat line, but the actual, just the performance. And that was Michael Jordan in the 1991 finals. That's what I'm going over in this video. I never saw a performance like that before or since. Yeah, Magic Johnson's 1980 was nice, but it was really just the one game. So Magic Johnson that was his 9th finals, and it was Michael Jordan's first. He had no finals experience. The Lakers that year, who suddenly now were old and overrated, weren't that good, were the 5th ranked offense and the 5th ranked defense. They were a very good team. I think they were the 2nd or 3rd net rated team in the league. But anyway, people like to say, well, they weren't the Showtime Lakers. The last championship the Showtime Lakers won was 1988. The 7 players that they had for most minutes played were A.C. Green, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Magic Johnson, Michael Thompson, Kareem, and Michael Cooper. All right? Now, the 7 top players in 91 were A.C. Green, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Magic Johnson, Michael Thompson, but you had Sam Perkins and Vlade Divac instead. Now, before anybody says, oh, that team was old, yada, yada, in 1991, A.C. Green was 24 years old, prime. James Worthy, 29, prime. Byron Scott, 29, prime. Magic Johnson, 31, definitely in his prime. He was 2nd in MVP in 91. Michael Thompson, yeah, he was a bit older. He was 36. He was, you know, and he didn't play that much. But in 91, Sam Perkins was 29 also, and Vlade Divac was 22. Now, let's look at the difference between, basically, you're talking about Kareem and Michael Cooper versus Perkins and Divac. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was 41 years old. He averaged 13 in the finals. He averaged 13.1 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 1.1 blocks on 41.4% shooting from your center. In the 91 finals, the Lakers had Vlade Divac, 18.2 points per game. That's 5.1 more points, 8.8 rebounds, 4.7 more rebounds, and 2.4 blocks, 1.3 more blocks. Essentially, he was double in rebounds and blocks and giving you over 5 points a game more on 56.5% shooting against a very good defensive 91 Bulls team. The other player, instead of Michael Cooper in 1988, he was giving you 3.7 points, 1.6 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 0.9 steals, and 0.3 blocks. And I know this is supposed to be, he's a defensive guy, yada, yada, yada. He was 3 for 20 shooting three-pointers for 15%. From the field, he was 9 for 44 at 20.5%. Okay? Sam Perkins, on the other hand, would give you 16 points in the 91 finals, 16.6 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks, 40.6% shooting, which, you know, isn't great, but he shot a lot of threes. He was 38.5% from 3. So there's a stark contrast there. I can argue the 91 Lakers were just as good as the 88. Now, 88, they did have a better record, and I know these guys maybe, you know, Worthy was a little hobbled, whatever, you know, but I'm saying it's comparable at least. It's not like the 88 Lakers are, you know, phenomenal and the 91 Lakers were bums. No, it was comparable. It was close. It just was. They didn't technically beat an old decrepit Kareem. Okay, you got me there. Now, Michael Jordan's performance in Game 1, his first finals game ever, he goes 14 for 24. He makes the only three he takes. He goes 7 for 9 from the line, 8 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals, 36 points on 58.3% shooting. Phenomenal game. Now, he had the major assignment of Magic. Now, Pippen did spell Jordan at times, but make no mistake, I don't care what The Last Dance, portrayed. You go back and watch that series, and I have. Jordan guarded Magic about 3/4 of the time, Pippen about maybe 20% of the time, and then the rest of it, was like Paxson or Hodges or whoever, somebody else. So Magic in Game 1 only made 4 field goals. He did not even make a field goal in the whole first half. That's pretty amazing to do that to somebody so good as Magic. Magic finished 4 for 5 from the field. Okay, he has a good percentage, but he made 4 field goals in the whole game. 10 rebounds, 11 assists, which those are good numbers. He had a triple-double on 19 points, 9 for 10 from the line. He had a pretty good game. But he also had 5 turnovers. Now, in Game 2, Michael Jordan, maybe the best finals game I've ever seen anybody have, at least shooting. Michael Jordan was 15 for 18 from the field. 83.3%, which is just insane. 7 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 steals. Magic Johnson in Game 2 went 4 for 13 from the field, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 4 turnovers, 14 points on 30.8% shooting. I'd say Jordan did a very good job against my number 3 player of all time. Game 3 shifted to LA. This is Jordan's first road finals game ever. He didn't shoot particularly great. He was 11 for 28 from the field for 29 points. 6 for 6 at the line, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, 39.3% from the field. But they were down 13 points in the second half. They rallied back. Michael Jordan hits the tying shot over Vlade Divac right as time expired to send the game into overtime. Well, Pippen had fouled out. So now you're going into overtime against the Lakers without Pippen. Michael Jordan scored 6 of the Bulls' 12 points in overtime and held Magic in the overtime to no points and no assists. Phenomenal job. And that, to me, won the series. When they were up 2-1, that pretty much, because that they didn't shift the home court back, but it assured the Bulls were at least going to get Game 6 at home. Game 4, Michael Jordan goes 11 for 20. Hold on. Yeah, so anyway, Michael Jordan in Game 4, when they were up 2-1, shoots 11 for 20 from the field, 55%, 6 for 6 from the line, 5 rebounds, 13 assists for 28 points. A great job. In Game 5, Michael Jordan goes 12 for 23 in the series clincher, 52.2%, 6 for 8 from the line, 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 5 steals, and 2 blocks. Just unbelievable stuff here. He had double-digit assists in 4 out of the 5 games. In fact, he out-assisted Magic Johnson in 3 out of the 5 games. The greatest passer of all time. He out-assisted him 3 out of 5 games. That is insane just to hear that. Now, in the series, here's what Michael Jordan's line was. 31.2 points per game on 55.8% shooting from the field. And this is no forward or center. This is a 2-guard. 50% from three-pointer. I think it was only like 2 for 4, but still 50%. He shot 84.8% from the free throw line. He averaged 6.6 rebounds and an astonishing 11.4 assists, which that number, 11.4, is more than Larry Bird ever did in any series, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, just about anybody you can think of. That number is higher than any playoff series, not just finals, that any of them had. he had 2.8 steals, 1.4 blocks. Magic's line was 18.6 points on 43.1% shooting. He was 28.6 from 3. He averaged 8 rebounds, 12.4 assists, only one more than Michael Jordan did. But he averaged 4.5 turnovers, and I like to think Jordan had a lot to do with that. He had a great series, offensively and defensively. Now, the records that Michael Jordan set that still stand to this day in that finals, the finals records, in Game 2, the most consecutive made field goals, 13. That's a fact. The most steals in a 5-game finals, 14 steals. That's a record to this day. In fact, I think Luka Doncic actually got close in the last finals, but he didn't get to 14. Also, the most assists in any player's debut finals, 11.4 assists per game. That's the most ever. So there's 3 records right there in one finals. And, it isn't some crazy one about, led both teams in this category, no. This is for a series, most consecutive field goals. I'm talking about in-game records. Now, you want to look at what Michael Jordan did carried over into the 92 finals, which isn't exactly a record. I think it is actually technically a record. The most assists of any player's first 10 finals games. Their first 10, not any 10 or no. I'm just talking about their first 10. Michael Jordan had 92 assists in his first 10 finals games. I looked this up myself. Magic Johnson's first 10 finals games, he had 83. John Stockton, 88. Isaiah Thomas, 87. Jason Kidd and Bob Cousy had 86 each. Oscar Robertson, 85. But Michael Jordan had 92, the most of any player. This was the best performance I ever saw, considering, in Game 1, he almost won that game with a shot that rimmed in and out, and that would have won that game. Or maybe it would have tied it, sent it overtime. But either way, his Game 1, even though they lost, the rest of the team was tight. They were nervous. He shot 58.3% from the field, 14 for 24. 7 for 9 from the line, 8 rebounds, 12 assists. Jordan was great right out of the gate. Game 2, he was even better, phenomenal. And then in Game 3, when he hit that shot to tie it up, that basically won the series. Had he missed that, I think the Lakers would have made it a more interesting series. The Lakers were bigger up front. They gave the Bulls problems down low. Let's not kid ourselves. I think it was Game 3 obviously was Game 1 they lost. Game 3 was a dogfight that they had to come back to win, down 13 points at one time. Game 4, the Bulls won by 15, no problem there. But Game 5 was tight, even though Worthy and Scott missed that game. That was one of the best games they played probably in LA. They played great. But anyway, that's about it for this video. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Is there a player who had a better overall performance in the finals? Now, if the player didn't win the finals, then it's almost a moot point. It's like, that's great, but you didn't win. But I just think that all things considered, Michael Jordan did so much for his team, offensively, defensively, shooting the ball, passing the ball, that it was just overall the best finals that I ever saw any player have. And it happened to be his first one. So anyway, that's it. If anybody has somebody they think might be in the conversation to compare it to, by all means, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my channel. Share my video. Hit that like button. All that stuff matters. But anyway, thank you. That's it.